Hi, I'm Kayla.
I'm Noah.
And this is the A-Team. And this is our October update. It's really pretty here. The leaves are changing color for October, which is not something that happens in Texas until like, what? December, probably.
And it's just brown.
And it's just brown. Other October updates. I made friends. I found out that there are other English teaching assistants here in Villa Garcia from other programs that aren't Fulbright. But I'm in a group chat with a bunch of them now, and one of them is actually in my Galician class with me. So she's really cool. I love hanging out with her. We went on a hike. She's a big hiker. So I was like, oh my gosh, what a blessing to have somebody who lives in my town that I can go hang out with. And I also have a French friend now. My school got a French teaching assistant, and we only speak in Spanish because she's like, my English isn't that good. And I'm like, well, my French is non-existent. So we speak a weird mix of Spanish and French and English to each other. And it's great. It's a great vibe. And Noah has made some new friends too. Yeah,
I think that we may have mentioned that I went to the chess club, or that I was going to go. Mm-hmm. And I went once, and they were talking about like, oh, you can pay $50 to join, and you can come here and join the class. You can be in the class. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I just wanted to go somewhere to play against people, just to like socialize. And I mean, I went there 2 times, and both times there was no socialization that happened. At least not very much.
It's chess club.
Yeah. During the class, there was a lot more talking. But it was all about the game. So like they would set up like a board, and they would talk about like moves and whatnot. Mm-hmm.
What's checkmate in Spanish?
Jaque mate.
Jaque mate.
But then I was looking at like a list of YouTube channels to watch in Spanish, and I saw there were some chess people, and I was like, oh, I could watch like a chess video in Spanish and see what happens. And I found this guy I really like. His name is Ray Enigma. Kayla doesn't like his voice.
I don't like his voice.
Hola, jaquetones, os doy la bienvenida a la nueva sección del canal.
Because he uses a voice modulator because he's anonymous. And like he's became really famous for it. Like in Spain, like
he's an enigma.
He was in Spain's Got Talent or something like that, and he bet his anonymity against like, whoever they bring out. And they brought, I don't know if you know the meme, but the meme of the baby that starts crying, like the baby chess prodigy that starts crying.
Студию 12-го чемпиона мира по шахматам, международного гроссмейстера, заслуженного мастера спорта СССР Анатолия Карпова.
That was the guy they brought out for him. He ended up drawing to be able to keep it. But anyways, so I've been watching a ton of his videos. And now I joined the chess club, and there's a tournament next weekend. Mm-hmm. And that's been my main thing.
How do you think you're going to do at the tournament?
I don't know. They put like everybody all into one big list.
Wait, where is the tournament?
It's by the McDonald's.
It's called the McDonald's Open.
It is called the McDonald's Open, but it's in a building by the McDonald's. That's why it's called that. Mm-hmm. But it's like, the club is from like 5-year-olds to people that are super old. I don't know how old they are. They can't be 80, but they're not like young either. But anyways, so yeah, I'll probably beat some kids because like I'm unranked, so they're gonna put me at the bottom of the list. That's all I got.
You're gonna make some poor Spanish kid cry.
No.
And I'm gonna be there cheering you on. Woo!
Yeah, Kayla really wants to come and support, so yeah. That's weird. At a chess tournament.
What do you mean? I'm gonna paint my face.
Oh God. Okay, move on.
We've been to Santiago. I think we went to Santiago like 3 times within the span of 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that right? We went, so the first time, my art teacher at the school, I actually help out in the art classes because the art classes are taught in English. And the art teacher I work with is really cool, and he lives in Santiago, so he invited us and came and gave us like this whole tour of Santiago. Like I really was like, at the end I was like, you should charge for this, because he knew a lot of the history and was just pointing out all kinds of different things. We ate I don't know what the restaurant was called, but it
Me
was
either.
really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. And then at the end of the meal, we were so stuffed. And at the end of the meal, he was like, oh, one more thing. And he got us dessert, and then he got us, what is it? Café licor. And we were like, what is that? Because he like whispered something to the waiter, and then the waiter brought out, and I'm like, are these shots? And he's like, yeah, you don't drink it like a shot though, you just sip it. And I like drank this much, and I was like, oh, it's just coffee and
Yeah, it's just coffee and like super strong liquor.
Yeah, super strong liquor.
I think it's their equivalent of like whiskey that they use
I don't
for
know.
the liquor.
Not a big fan of the café licor, but I respect it. I also ran the Santiago 12K. I'm not sure. It has a name. It's like the Carrera Pedestre de Santiago, I think. And it was really great, except that there were hills, and I am not used to running on hills. Texas does not have a lot of hills to offer, and I've kind of been running along the beach. But, you know, I've been like on the treadmill, kind of inching up the incline. I'm like, oh yeah, I can handle some hills. But those hills were crazy. There was like a big one at the end, and it's on a turn. And so I was looking to the top of the turn, and I was like, all right, Kayla, you just got to make it to the top of the turn, and then you're good. What goes up must come down. You're going to make it. And then I turned the corner, and it went up like at least 200 more yards, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was running pretty slow on those parts, but I ended up actually faster overall. I finished in like an hour and 8 minutes, which is a personal record for myself. So I was proud. I was sweaty. And then we met up with one of our friends from Pontevedra that came to watch me, and we went and got some hot chocolate and some food afterwards. So that was really fun. How was it from your perspective watching the race?
So yeah, there was a ton of people. They started running, and then I went to go and try and like catch Kayla in the middle, and she finally came, and I was like, "Let's go, Kayla!" I started yelling, and Kayla just ran on by.
I did not hear. I had headphones in full volume.
Yeah, she didn't hear me then, and she didn't hear me at the end either, because very quickly I'm like, I'm gonna go to the finish line to get a good spot. I got there, and as soon as I got there, like, the starter car came down, and the guy who won came, and he was wearing, like, a 1, you know, I'm like, well, he registered early, I guess, and nobody else came after him for, like, a minute or two. Like, it was just him, and that was it.
Incredible.
So, yeah, and, like, the town was very, like, supportive, like, just passerbys would, like, stop for a second and clap.
It was really sweet.
I have a guy on video, because I got Kayla running in the middle of the race, and I had this guy on video that runs by, sees somebody he knows, and he just turns around, stops and talks to them for a minute, and then keeps on going.
Like, it's not serious. People were there to have fun.
Yeah.
Except for that number 1 guy.
Yeah,
he was there to win, and he did. So
yeah.
I also took a school trip to Santiago with some of my older students, and it was really fun. We got a tour of the Cathedral of Santiago, and we even got to go on the roof, which was really cool. You could like look down and see everybody in the square, learn a lot of history about it. But it was also a high stress event for me because it was not very organized. I'm used to school trips being just aggressively chaperoned, and we have everybody's number, and these are our emergency procedures. I'm pretty sure we like lost half the group at some point. They were just kind of wandering around. We had kind of a schedule, and then we were almost late to the train getting there, and all the teachers around me were like, oh no, like, it's good, it's chill. And me being my American self was like, we're on a schedule, we have to go. I think it is a precursor to the London school trip that I will be going on with them as well. So we'll see.
Have fun with that.
We'll see how I survive that. But yeah, so let's see, what else have we done this month?
There's 4 island sets, archipelagos. I don't really know how to say the word that well.
I think it's archipelago.
That's definitely not how you say it in English.
Archipelago.
I don't know how to say the word exactly, but it's a group of islands that are all around each other. And there's 4 of them here in Galicia. And there's one that's right here by our town. Like we can walk to like, and like they'll just take you on a boat to go over.
Yeah.
And we had they just do like private tours to go around the island. And so basically it was through like a young people's thing because we count as young people here.
Yeah.
And it was like a 2 or 3 hour tour of the island, you know, from like a professional who like does these tours, and she's very knowledgeable on the nature and the history.
Yeah.
So it was very nice to get to see some nature that's close by.
Noah came up to me with a fun date idea, and I was like, nobody's gonna believe that this was his idea, but it was. And it was honestly top 5 dates we've had, I think.
Oh, very nice.
I think. It was great.
It was free.
He made me pasta, and then we drew each other, and these are our drawings.
Oh.
It's this one's Noah, that one's me.
It went very wrong very fast.
Oh no, I actually, unironically, I love this. I'm gonna frame this when we are back in the States. I'm keeping this forever.
I'm so honored.
I love it. I love it. It was a lot of fun. So we're still making time for each other. I feel like we get very busy with all of our things, all of his hours of comprehensible input and my things I'm involved in, but we're still making time for each other.
Yeah.
Having fun dates, cooking good food, lots of orange chicken.
Lots of orange chicken.
Once
a week.
But yeah, and then Halloween. That's the big October thing. Halloween was interesting to experience here. Some of the kids dressed up, mostly younger kids. At my school, there weren't as many that dressed up, but we saw a lot of younger kids dressed up the day of Halloween. And then there were like a few events and stuff, but nothing really, really big. They don't do trick-or-treating. It's just not as big of a thing here, but what is a bigger thing
is on November 1st, so you'll see it next month.
Oh, shoot, it is! I forgot about that.
Cliffhanger.
Well, tune in next month to figure out what happens on November 1st.
I can't believe you're actually going to do that. That's so funny. All right, that was a
No,
joke.
you're right. You're
Okay.
right. It's not in October. Well, you can look it up. What does Spain do on November 1st? So we'll share our adventures then. But yeah, no, we're 2 months in. It's going fast. We're having fun.
Yeah.
Go Cougs.
Cougar Road Fridays.
Always. Bye.